Gross domestic product, or GDP, is one of the primary indicators used to gauge the health of an economy. Department of Interior Assistant Secretary Tony Bubauta.
We are able to take the data that is being generated and hope to drive economic policy, find weaknesses in the current policy that exists through the numbers, and hopefully have a fuller discussion at a later time between not only the governor's office, but your business community, your chamber of commerce's, your legislature, and try to put together a forum so that we can figure out what policy needs to change, needs to be altered, needs to be tweaked so that the economy continues to grow. In 2008 and 2009, GDPs were bad worldwide. The U.S., for example, had no growth in real GDP in 2008 and a 2.6% drop in its GDP in 2009. Guam's GDP, on the other hand, went up in both 2008 and 2009, indicating growth in the economy.
Nevertheless, in Guam, you can see from line 1 of Table 3, real GDP increased 0.5% in 2008, and it increased 1.7% in 2009. So what is the source of this growth in these two most recent years? It's federal government spending. So by federal government spending, we mean not only compensation, that is payments of wages and salaries, particularly for military personnel, but also government construction activity.
The primary drag for the economy has been the island's ailing tourism industry. Tourism was down 12.1% in 2008 and down 9% in 2009.
This is partly due, of course, to the worldwide recession of that time, and you see these numbers showing up in your own statistics on visitor arrivals on Guam.
Consumer spending is also down as well. In 2008, consumer spending did not grow, while in 2009, it actually declined by 1.5%. In other words, people are simply spending much less.
This is largely in response to higher prices, as reflected in your CPIs, higher prices that consumers faced in the market.
One of the major things that GDPs track are a country's exports and imports. In fact, the basic formula for calculating the GDP includes subtracting the amount spent on imports from the amount sold in exports. Guam relies almost solely on imports and really doesn't have any actual products that it exports. However, it does provide services that are classified as an export.
Exports leaving Guam, the major export leaving Guam is tourism, people coming here and spending money. So if you have people coming here that don't reside here, spending a ton of money, using services, buying goods, but then they're leaving, they don't actually reside here, that's considered an export.